need you to kind of pay attention to me. This is a graphic arts class, and graphic arts is visual. All right, we know all designs start with a dot, right? A starting point. And the very moment we start adding within our frame another element, we're creating a competition. All right? We talked about line the other day, how we want diagonal lines, vertical lines, horizontal lines. All right? Now we're going to be talking about plane and mass. All right? And we're going to be, especially in video and graphic design, we're going to be talking about background, middle ground, and foreground. Those are our planes. Okay? Mass, that's our visual weight. Right? One of the quickest ways to create mass is just to enlarge it. Right? But there's other ways to create mass to objects just using color or texture or activity. Okay? Alright? We need to understand shape. Shape is the outline of an area. Designers understand and viewers understanding must work together to define the meaning of the shapes within the frame and the concept of the design. If you do not know what an elephant looks like, and I draw the shape of an elephant, that shape has no meaning to you. Okay? Alright? So, whatever shapes you use in your design needs to be viewed by a viewer and understood by the viewer. Alright? Placement within each plane is as important to the message. And I'm going to kind of give you a summary of what we're going to be talking about so that you understand the concept. Alright? Our concept is I want to feel danger, there's a crash, there's a car involved, and there's a nuclear war. Alright? All those happy subjects that Mr. Neal does talk about.
Yeah.
Okay?
Nuclear war.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's this the shape of?
That's
A car.
a room.
Alright, now, in reference to a nuclear war, what do you think this is?
Atomic bomb.
Now, a mushroom cloud, right? It's not a tree. Okay? It might look like a tree, but it's a mushroom cloud. Okay? Alright? And then this is somebody screaming.
Oh, that's somebody screaming?
Oh! Y'all needed that visual reference, didn't you?
I thought that was a basketball.
You thought it was a basketball. Man, when you seen a basketball with two eyes and a grizzly mouth?
I thought it was nuclear war.
Alright, and then we're going to add text. Alright, we're going to design something. Now, let me ask you this. This frame, is it static or is it dynamic?
Dynamic.
Dynamic. Is it, because we know static is equal on all four sides, right? That's static. Dynamic. Is this dynamic vertically or horizontally?
Vertically.
Vertically. Thank you. Okay? Alright. So, there's a car crash, there's a nuclear war, and there's some kind of danger. Okay? Now, I could be kind of simple and plain and position my car here at the bottom of my design. And then maybe have the nuclear bomb going off behind it. Alright? And then maybe have the person screaming. Okay, alright. And then put the title up here. And that feels kind of plain, right? I don't feel, that doesn't make me feel a lot of danger. The nuclear bomb, alright?
I honestly kind of thought that was a poem as opposed to talking about planes.
Yeah, not airplanes. Okay.
No, I mean like the drawing you drew is on a plane.
Okay.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, this is a plane, the board's a plane, this is a drawing, okay. But if I wanna add some excitement and danger to my design, maybe what I do is I take the shape of my car and I put it upside down and I put it at the top.
You're a little bit too excited with that.
Dude, erase that now, that's terrifying.
Alright, well, no, doesn't it feel like it's upside down and it's falling?
Yeah.
Maybe I take the nuclear explosion, instead of fitting it to the frame, I have it go outside the frame, like it's encompassing the whole
Scary mustard.
scary thing, okay? Alright, and then maybe the person's face, instead of small down here in the corner, maybe I make it like they're looking up at all this that's going on, and then maybe put the text right there.
Fine, you do your buttons now.
Okay, alright. Alright, let's not worry about jokes, let's worry about what I'm talking about. Alright, okay, alright. So, I've used my concept, I've used the position and the size and the weight of each one of these things to add a feeling of danger. The car falling, I could probably even tilt it to give it even a more dynamic feel to it, okay? That makes it feel like a car crash. And then, of course, the nuclear war, I guarantee you, if there's ever a nuclear war, it's gonna ruin everybody's day. Okay? All right, so let's talk about contour shapes, okay? The more contour to a shape has, the shape has more curves to it, or more angles to it, or something like that, the more active it is in the plane in which it is placed. In other words, here's our frame. We got a small circle, and its interaction or its contours to the plane is smaller than this one, right? So I would say that this one is more active. In other words, it's dealing with the background, its relationship to the background more than this one is. Does that make sense? Just by the sheer size, mass of it, it's dealing with the background more actively. All right? Same thing with this square shape. All right? This large square that's actually going outside the frame is more actively dealing with the frame than this smaller square. So slight position change can change the mass. And then organic shape. This smaller organic shape is more active than this circle and this square, all right? Because the human eye is actually drawn to organic shapes more than geometric shapes, all right? It attracts our eyes more when we see organic shapes, okay? And when you get off our phones, okay? Again, as we add mass to our shape, it interacts with the effect on our plane. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask some questions about visual weight. Of these four squares here, which one do you think has the most visual weight? Which one do you feel draws your eye the most?
The organic shape.
No, they're not paying attention. All right, let's everybody look up here. Look up here and quit talking. Okay? All right. Of these geometric shapes that are roughly the same size, which one has the most visual weight?
Yellow one?
Which one is?
Straight.
The red one. No,
The red one.
Yellow. The red one or the black one?
All right. I think it's the red one. Okay, all right? Now, I heard somebody say yellow. That would be the least active, or the least weight. Okay, all right? Now, when comparing these two, which one has the more visual weight?
The black one.
This one or this one?
The black one.
Right.
The stripes, right? It's more active. It acts with it's interacting with the plane more, is it not? You can honestly tell me that the stripe square is less than that? It's more, right? It's more active. It makes you look at it more.
Like stripes are more boring than something being just like completely black though. So how would that draw your eye first?
I agree, it's less boring, the stripe one, right? The black one's kind of boring, it's kind of the same thing. Now, if we were to look at these, now, we're dealing with three planes. We're dealing with a whiteboard, middle ground, foreground. Background, middle ground, foreground. Background, middle ground, foreground. Background, middle ground, foreground. All right? In this one, what's the most dominant plane?
The red.
The red. All right? In this one, what's the most dominant plane?
The black.
The black. In this one, what's the most dominant plane? The black, right? And in this one,
The yellow.
yellow, but it's kind of balanced, isn't it? It kind of looks like it's sitting on the same plane in a way because of the visual weight. All right. Less mass, but more visual weight because of the activity. If I were to ask you, what is the most active out of these background, middle ground, and foreground? What's the most active?
Foreground.
The foreground, right? That textured circle. Okay. All right. White is the background, black is the middle ground, and red is the foreground. Which one is the most active?
The red.
The red, the foreground, it's got 4 spots. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. If we're dealing with organic shapes, this black organic shape on this white background, and then you have this white organic shape with this black frame. Which do you think is more active? This one or this one? The right one?
Yeah, the red one.
Okay. Doesn't it feel more active? Okay, it's interacting with the plane more. Okay, I need somebody tall. All right, stand right here next. All right, so this is the background. This is our foreground. All right, we don't have 3 levels. We are about the same mass. Now, he's a little bit taller, but I'm a little wider. Okay, you agree with that? All right, so we're kind of the same mass, right? So we're kind of even, right? Now, if I have him go forward towards my camera, there you go. How does he appear?
Bigger.
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 So I'm adding emphasis to him, right?
Visual.
So he is the most active of the imagery in this. I'm the middle ground, and then here's the background. All right? Now, if I came up here, we're about even again, right? But when it's if I did this,
You're out of the frame.
all right? Well, I'm probably still in the frame. I just look a lot smaller in the frame. Okay? All right? You step back. All right? Where's the dominant frame?
You.
Right? The foreground. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Amazing performance.
All right. Now we're going to talk about what I mean by activity. All right? Mass. square mass. It's just simply larger in the frame. Just like that dike that what we just did. When he steps closer and I step back, that makes him more massive in the frame. Alright? So mass affects visual weight. Alright, texture. Which one of these textures is the most active?
The very right one.
Good diagonal.
This one, right? The least active,
The very first one.
right? You can tell that, right? It's just the activity within it. That adds visual weight. Okay?
Tag yourself as a texture on
Color.
the first one.
To what?
Tag yourself as a texture on the first one. Really boring, does nothing.
Okay. You said tag myself as the boring.
Yes, which,
Well, thank you. I didn't realize I was boring. I'm sorry I'm not
I meant,
entertaining
like,
you enough.
no.
Here, I'll tell you what, I'll start dancing like this when I do my lectures. Does that activity make you happier?
No, Mr. Neal, that's not what I meant. I mean, like, which texture do you sound the most like?
You want it?
You're just digging a deeper hole.
I'm sorry.
If you wanna get out of the hole.
Let's do this. Let's not try to outdo Mr. Neal in the funny department, all right? Let's just listen to him, okay? All right?
That's his kingdom.
All right.
Look, he's already got that title.
Again, why y'all talking?
Yeah, Luke.
Why are we talking? All right, color. All right, what's the weightier color, this one or this one? The left one or the right one? Okay, all right. The shape, which is the most active shape, the square or the organic shape? Okay, all right. Which one of the planes? They're about equal, aren't they? This one's white with a black circle, this is black with a white circle, they're about even. All right? And then movement. Even though we're dealing with a static image, which direction do you think this is moving? Is it moving this way or that way?
To the right.
Moving to the right. This one. To the left or the right? Left. And then y'all remember the bouncing ball? Okay? Alright. Do you see how planes and mass can affect a design? Do you see what visual weight is? Okay? Alright, you need to understand this. Alright? You can cut that camera off now. Now I want to show you